Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm definitely not Vlad, and you're watching the All Tanks All Tens Mega Series, where I take every tank spec from character creation to doing all tens and the War Within Season 3. We're currently working on Brewmaster. Now, I have some changes I've made to my UI, which might be immediately apparent to some of you, but quite simply put, I've gotten rid of some detail stuff, I've gotten rid of some Omni CD stuff, which you probably won't see until I get into a group, obviously, and the reason I did it is because I don't need to know people are bad. It just makes me play worse and commentate worse. So if I know that people aren't kicking, which I've removed kicks and I've downsized to just having dynamic overall damage and just healing done. The reason I did that is because I don't need to know that people aren't kicking. It's not going to change anything. And the Omni CD changes I made was I basically removed everything except for immunities and their major offensive cooldowns. That is what I'm going to be able to see that people have available. If I see that people are not using those as often as I think they should or whatever, and I start getting annoyed about that, I'm going to remove those too. And I've removed interrupts as well, so I can't see who has interrupts available for whatever the heck is happening. This way, I'm going to be focusing on my own gameplay, and I won't know that people are or aren't doing something until after a dungeon is over. Because I've found myself just constantly talking about how people are not doing this, people are not doing that, this guy's not using defensives, this guy hasn't kicked twice in the dungeon, this guy hasn't blah, 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 blah. And it doesn't matter. I'm doing plus 10 keys. Nobody cares. I'm not doing world first keys. These pugs don't matter in the grand scheme of things. And I'm just saltily commenting about a bunch of stuff that does not matter. So I'm going to try and stop that because it's just affecting how much fun I'm having in these runs. It's also affecting the quality of my commentary because I end up talking about how Steve didn't kick for the first 7 pulls or whatever, instead of just being like, hey, okay, in this pull, what you can do is blah, 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 blah. And I feel like that blah, 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 blah is a lot more interesting than Steve not kicking. That said, I also want to reduce my cognitive load a little bit, so I've changed from Chi Burst over to Chi Wave. I know that this is not a optimal thing to do. I probably shouldn't do this. But for Shadow Pan, I don't feel like it really matters. Our focus on Shadow Pan is in spending energy, not in using Chi Burst. If I was a Master of Harmony and I had like Chi Burst and Chi Wave doing 100% more, then I would make sure that Chi Burst is the one I'm using because it just amplifies my damage by that much more. But I'm not running Master of Harmony, I'm running Shadow Pan, because it's busted. So there's that. So again, these changes that I'm making to my UI and to what I'm running in my talents is purely because your boy just wants to have some fun. And I'm not doing keys that are so hard that I need to min-max people interrupting or people not using defensives or whatever the heck. Now, with that yap out of the way, what I want to do for this key, the episode is I want to do a plus 10 key. I want to do any plus 10 key, really, even hauls, preferably not hauls though. I think I did that last dungeon or last video, I think. So we'll do something else. And with that, we'll probably, I can't imagine not hitting 2K, which will be cool. That'll be a cool little breakpoint video. Another thing I have to yap about is the fact that this is episode 3 of 4 of the Brewmaster series, which means you guys need to start voting for what I play next. So I'll put in a ranked poll for you guys to vote on. It's at the top of the description. So you can go ahead and click that. Make sure you drag what you want to the top, what you don't want to the bottom, and click vote. Don't click vote by just clicking something. You might be voting for something you don't even want. Now, with that out of the way, I am just going to try and find myself a plus 10 key, and we can get started. And here we go with a plus 10 Pulsar, Tyrannical Fortified, Floodgate. I haven't done Floodgate at all, I think, in any of my videos. So I went specifically for Floodgate, got lucky and got invited on the first thing. I have to kind of focus here on making sure I'm able to group these mobs efficiently, which means I'm going to drop weapons of order. I'm going to taunt this exploding keg here. We're going to self-heal, and then we're going to try and purify as much as we can. I do need to try and get aggro on all these. I'm going to stun here, purifying still. We have enough for the Chi infusion here, or Celestial infusion, which I need to use. I'm trying to purify as much stagger as I possibly can, and I'm also focusing on just making sure I survive. Okay, we have another Celestial infusion because we used our Black Ox brew. Group is absolutely just destroying this whole thing. We're gonna touch of death a loader bot here to clear some of the stagger, and we are big chillin'. Love it. Okay, that went really, really, really well. I'm happy. I managed to hold aggro. That's what I was focused on. We're gonna try and make it up here. Never mind. That failed miserably. I'm going to kick these in the mouth. Hopefully people stop hitting these so I can get aggro. There we go. Got a taunt. I'm sorry guys. I don't know how you expect me to hold aggro here. I need to self heal. Need to purify. That guy just started blasting him before I could do anything. I'm sorry, buddy, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. I didn't pull the way I wanted to pull, and they started smacking before I had a chance to actually hit the mobs. So I guess I could take ownership here of pulling them in a bad way. I should have pulled the top mobs down instead of pulling these mobs up, but I just failed my jump over across the thing. So there we are. Finally taking enough damage to make use of my purifying brews and like really start to get some stagger that matters, if that makes any sense. Like clearing 200k stagger with a purifying brew doesn't feel all that engaging or satisfying, but it looks like we're doing quite well here. I do apologize to the enhancement shaman. I did not intend to have them kicking the bucket, as it were. I'm gonna try and get aggro on these as they run in, make sure that happens. Spinning here, our healer did go down to healing aggro. I'm kind of messing up a little bit too much. The aggro issue should not be this bad. This was my bad. So what I wanted to do there was I wanted to taunt the surveyor to make sure that he comes over, but taunting just one mob of 3 is kind of an issue sometimes, so I need to be careful about that. That was not the right way to pull that, and I apologize now to my healer. Okay, so I first killed the enhancement shaman, then I killed the healer. Let me zoom out. I'm having trouble here. All right, we're gonna go this side because we want bloodlust for Big Mama, because otherwise I might get my ass whooped by her. I'm gonna make sure we kick this. That is the best I can do here, and we have weapons of order available yet again. Let's make sure we keep rolling this. We're going to do paralysis. This one, night undercrawler, got dragged over, didn't pull anything else. That is actually impressive. I'm gonna mash kick into this, and I think what I should do is pull this into the next group, but I'm kind of nervous now with this. I'm gonna bounce this. Hopefully someone kicks it. If someone kicks it, I'm going next. Scaffolding goes up on top of me, I believe. No, it was when he started casting. That's where it did. This is kind of bad. I could have I kind of messed this up. I should not have pushed to get here, because now nobody's really killing the scaffolding. We're gonna give a heal to this person. It needed someone to kick that, but there's only so much we can do. I didn't have a kick available for that one, so I couldn't do anything about it. I definitely am making this a little bit messier than it needs to be, but I think we're pulling through. I'm gonna try and give some off heals here. We're gonna paralysis these beams. One of them I kicked, the other one I paralysis, and I need to heal myself. Okay, celestial infusion goes down. I have to kite. Stagger is kicking my ass. Bouncing things away. Am I dying to aggro? What's the issue here? Or are people dying to aggro? I'm just gonna die here and reset this. Buddy, no, just die. Reset. Die. Just die, buddy. You're... Okay, so pulling the divers in was a bad idea. That was just a bad idea. Please just go this way. Please just go this way. Don't risk pulling those guys. There's no reason to. We're faster just going this way anyway. I am making a mess of this, but this is perfectly timeable, so we're not going to stress about it too much. We're going to try and avoid these circles, and we have a scaffolding here that we need to take care of. I'm going to touch to death this scaffolding, and then I'm going to pull... Oh my god. How are these being pulled? I'm going to kick this. I'm going to taunt this. Okay, that got knocked back. Scaffolding is done. How the heck are this? This is so weird. I'm trying to get aggro here. Okay, let's just do this chill. Big AoE. Goodness gracious, this is just ridiculous. How did this happen? How did these get pulled so weirdly? Were we still in combat or something? I just don't get it. How did they get pulled? Oh, maybe it was an arcane orb. I just saw one, like a teeny tiny one, just fly through. Maybe it was an arcane orb that led to this. Right, these guys are almost dead. We do want to kill this for the percent, so I'm just going to move it all over. Should not be an issue now. There's fewer things causing havoc here. We're going to touch to death this scaffolding and make sure that that's not an issue. And I really want to move away from these crabs. You don't want to get crabs, folks. Oh, never mind. The orb just flew through there, and I guess we're pulling some more. No, it was a chi burst, not an orb. So let's see if we can't get aggro on these guys. And a scaffold plus 3 crabs. I guess it's okay. We're going to have some extra percent, so I might be able to skip something somewhere at some point, maybe. But I can't think of what to skip in my route, really. It was a chi burst from the monk that went and hit that. See, this is why I run chi wave. Not because I'm bad. I'm kidding. No. Got to be mindful of where you send it. That's all. All right. With these crabs dead, I do believe we can go upstairs. I'm just going to not hit them so that we don't get... Yeah, okay. We managed to not get 3 stacks of that. We're going to send some cooldowns here. Make sure we keg smash these guys. Holy shit. Okay, whatever. Defensive goes down. This goes down. I'm struggling. Is the healer struggling or am I struggling? I feel like I'm struggling. Okay, let's focus on Celestial Infusion here. There we go. That will help me survive. We have Black Ox Brew if need be, but I don't feel like I need it anymore now that I've stabilized. That was probably just a bad idea to go directly into this pull after the healer had to heal through the nonsense that is double crab explosion. So my bad. I probably should have just waited for the healer to heal us up before pulling this. So I got to be careful about that in the future. If I have crab pulls or anything like that, I got to be a little bit more careful. Okay, 90 up. Yep, we were drinking manatee. You guys remember manatee? You just saw it float across the screen, unless you weren't looking. But I know I'm second monitor content, so I'm okay with you guys not looking. But yes, I was checking whether or not our healer had mana to go through this fight right now. They had plenty of mana to begin with, and then they drank manatee to get to 100%. The spell needs to go out a little bit quicker than that. There we go. Nobody died, so it doesn't matter. Worked out. I got stunned. I should have repositioned this guy. Third charge goes on yours truly, so we're going to try and position it like this. There we go. Roll back this boss, and then the knockup goes on that. We're going to send an off heal here. That knockup needs to just get, oh goodness, that's taking a moment. I'm not sure why, but probably because this fight does take quite a bit of Kagi load. You got to make sure people are getting healed up and stuff, while also making sure that people are in the right position to get dispelled. So sometimes it just takes a moment before your instinct kicks in and you take that dispel. Although honestly, you have to kind of fight your instinct sometimes, because you just want to make sure you dispel it as quickly as possible. Now we are going to have one bomb go off here, but I think that's livable. Dispel needs to go out and get dispelled. Anti-magic shell is up, so that DK won't be dying, that's for sure. And one bomb goes off, not a big deal. We're living through that, big chillin'. HPS is more than enough to keep us alive here, because we also had anti-magic zone go down from the DK. I'm going to move the Bront guy over here, so when he charges, he can charge through a shit ton of them. We got a quadruple dispel into a Bront charge on top of that, so not the smartest move here, I have to admit, but I'm going to reposition and grab this. So the DK please dispel our shaman. Our shaman can't live that forever. Those dispels are very slow. But our DK stood on top of where the guy Bront was charging, so that was not great. We have two people, but we have no CRs. Our DK died first, and he's our CR. I don't have the CR item because I'm underprepared, apparently. But we're going to try and just kill this. One more charge needs to go out. She's dead. No more dispels, which is, I think, okay. Now we just got to kill dumbass over here. I'm going to get stunned, but I think I'm okay with that. I just got to make sure I live this and get him to touch a death range where I will touch a death him, and we will be fine. There we go. I'll take care of these bombs, and somebody can click the extra action button over there. Nice. Is someone doing it? Someone did do it. Okay. Got a little messy. The healer said, sorry, mates. That's perfectly fine. They recognized that there was a boo-boo there, and that's okay. Now we're gonna do one pull and straight into Big Mama. We want to Bloodlust Big Mama. He says he's new to healing, a lot to learn. And our shaman says, felt it. Our shaman keeping it real. Now hopefully we are able to keep aggro here. Okay, we are able to keep aggro here. That's embarrassing. CR me quickly, or this is a straight up wipe. Okay, don't CR me. Maybe they didn't have runic power. My bad. I stood in the swirlies and died like an idiot. I'm making a lot of mistakes this run. I feel quite bad about it. Our mage invises and gets out of combat. Yeah, I was on the edge of a swirly there, and that kind of wrecked my shit. But we're gonna go in, keg smash, zap, and hope for the best here, honestly. Keg smash again once they're all grouped up, and rushing jade wind. We need to taunt this soldier. I'm going to paralysis this guy until I have something to throw at him. Weapons of order goes out. There we go. We're going to get the hell away from all of this. I don't care about aggro on the demolitionist, because the demolitionist does not melee. He just reloads and RPGs, so we don't have to worry about that. He did manage to get his reload out. I'm going to stun everything and see if he can die during that. Touch of Death goes out from the other monk, I think, and takes care of him. Okay, nice. This time I didn't die to the stupid swirlies like an idiot. Oh man, I feel so bad about that. Holy shit. Oh well, doesn't matter too much. I think we're making good time anyway. The DPS is super high, I feel like, so I'm not too worried about us timing this key because of mistakes like that. But I do gotta, I kind of have to clean up my act. This is getting a little bit ridiculous. I made so many mistakes in this run that I would otherwise never make. But it's human, I guess. Touch of Death on this guy, maybe? Not necessary. There we go. Okay, we have lust for this. Cooldowns are kind of ready. We can pop this thing off. If our mage less than for their cooldowns, then we're going to have perfect cooldowns, I think. All right, let's I didn't mean to taunt that, but we're going to use a defensive here and try to live through that Electro Crush. There we go. And we do so with ease because Brewmaster Monk is really good at that kind of stuff. We're going to look for a taunt on this Mecha Drone that is not stacking up because reasons, it was casting stuff and shit, so it was just kind of annoying, but it's no big deal. Electro Crush is going to come out soon again. We're going to use the Fuse Magic on it this time because it is mostly magic damage. We're going to use the Fuse Magic. Look at that, it tickles. All right, Jump Start's going out. We're going to pop all of our cooldowns. We're going to try and use Purifying Brew as many times as possible to make Neo Zao stomp during his damage window here. We're even going to use Blackhawk's Brew. Why not? Whew, lots of damage going out. Healer definitely getting his exercise in for this one. I'm going to Keg Smash over there. We're going to just kind of hope that we get aggro. Nice, we do get aggro. I'm going to spin a little bit. I seem to be fine. We can Purifying Brew that. Neo Zao goes down and goes away. That means I don't have my extra damage coming in from the stomps and stuff, but I should be okay. One more of these remains. We need to kind of collect that. I'm going to do that and kind of mess everyone's stuff up, but it's whatever. I wanted to collect that more than I wanted to sit there and just wait. We're going to kick this because I don't know how good the group is doing with the kicks, but I don't really care because I can kick it, and if I can kick it, that means we don't wipe, and that is all that matters. Okay, someone ran around a little bit too much there with the thing. We're going to get a kick here. Healer kicks it as well, and we're going into another jump start soon. I'm going to touch of death this drone as quickly as I can. There we go, just to get out of the kilo blocker. Jump start starts, and we are big chillin'. I'm going to get into this, help out the healer a little bit. Great zone by the DK, honestly. It's helping out quite a bit. We're trying to get some off heals in, and we're going to start moving towards this area. Now, we don't have Keg Smash or don't have Explosive Keg and stuff like that, but I should be able to get aggro on these eventually. It doesn't really matter if I have aggro on them or not because they don't melee. They don't actually melee anyone. Looks like we're just focusing on the boss here. That is good because the boss is just about dead. Somebody can go grab that. The shaman's going and grabbing that. I'm thinking. Hit these, spin on these to get first aggro. Exploding Keg here, and then here we go. Here we fight. This is a lot of percent. Now, I was thinking maybe with the crabs I could skip some things, but I don't think if I can skip this. What I can skip is maybe the guys upstairs that are like sleeping next to the door or gateway or whatever, and that could actually be the percent I can skip. But I don't think I can skip this entire group here. We're gonna stun everything because we have a lot of melee. I'm going to diffuse magic to get rid of these stacks, and I'm going to use a Black Ox Brew to make sure that I get rid of some stagger here because I'm reaching 20-some million stagger. We're going to use a defensive here. Wind up goes out. I'm going to bounce everything back, make sure that our melee is not standing in that. That feels like a good call right there. It also gives me some time to get away from all these like melee hitting me. The one soldier is down there. We're going to touch a death them as soon as we're able to, just to make sure everything dies at about the same time. Clears our stagger and gets us ready for the next group. Okay, goodness gracious. Like I said, I don't think I need that group in the corner, but maybe actually if I pull that group in the corner, maybe if I do that, I actually have, whatchamacallits. How did my Exploding Keg not hit those is what I want to know, but okay. Because I guess they weren't in the circle when I cast it, so it didn't work. I don't know, man. That's kind of irritating. We're going to use Fortifying Brew here because I think I'm supposed to be taking a lot of damage here. It doesn't feel like it, but that's okay. Knockback from the mage stops the Demolitionist from finishing his reload cast. I was looking at that. Very cool. And that should be the Contractor's dead, and we can move on to Swamp Face. 14 deaths in, 19 minutes in. We're about to start clearing the trash right in front of Swamp Face. I feel like we're making decent progress, even with the deaths and everything. Which most of the deaths are from my mistakes, so I'm just, you know, I'm feeling a bit bad about that, but someone is taking care of that. We're going to look at these divers here, and we're going to bomb them. There we go. Brewmaster bomb coming in strong. All right, we got to make sure we use that Celestial Brew. There we go. Into Exploding Keg here. We got to make sure we kick. Somebody stunned when we kicked. I'm going to bounce them in this direction and just try to get there. Oh, it looks like we have some kelp coming in. We have 3 kelp. They're oh goodness. We're going to paralysis this. This is going to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to kick this harpoon just to get it off our back, as it were. We're going to taunt this guy to make sure that he doesn't hit anyone as he walks in. I think someone flew a bit low and managed to make that like get aggro on these guys. Paralysis is on cooldown. I couldn't get it there. That's unfortunate. Let's try and clear some of this stagger. Harpoon, this one I can kick, and it looks like we're doing okay. I don't know who pulled it, but that was really funny. I just saw Kelp running after someone. It's like, oh no. All right, let's see. Touch of Death is available. We're going to try and use that. And it looks like we only have 3 of these Kelp here to fight. Someone doesn't really understand how touching the orb actually works, I think. They ran into me and kept trying to run into me to make the orb get popped, but I don't think that's how that works, is it? Okay, we're stopping all of these guys. We're going to look for a kick. We're getting some more stops. Lots of stops are coming out. We could also purge or spell steal their hots when they do finish their cast and just focus our CC on the AoEs. That's what I prefer to do, or just kick the casts and CC the AoEs. Looks like our shaman's grabbing those bombs. He's gonna put those down. Okay, stack and left, please. And I'm gonna put a little heart there, just a little heart. I want them to know I am I'm nice like that. I'm gonna taunt them closer to the mage because he's ranged. Everyone's inching closer. That's not where I want them to be. I'm gonna taunt this. I'm gonna ping myself. I'm gonna use a defensive and a self heal immediately afterwards. There we go. Everyone is kind of stacked now. That's good. We stack and we move to the left, and now we can start sending some cooldowns maybe. Okay, some offensive cooldowns, I should say. They're very offensive. They're super rude. I can grab these for us while people focus on where they're going to stand. We have 4 stacks of the thingy with the stuff, so we're going to use our exploding keg. Healer is keeping everyone nice and safe, even though they just got absolutely rolled by those waves. We're going to use a big self-heal here after getting smacked in the face, as well as a purifying brew to remove that stagger that we generated from getting absolutely domed by that tank buster. All right, as long as I have purifying brew for after the big dome smack, I'm kind of big chilling. We're gonna look to see if somebody needs some off healing here. Waves are coming through. People are staying safe from those. We're gonna off heal the DK for a good chunk here. We're going to go ahead and use Celestial Brew with 2 stacks of this. Celestial Infusion, sorry. Not the best call. I didn't have enough to make Celestial Infusion really good there, but it doesn't really matter. We're down to 35% of the boss's health. This group's absolutely popping off on the damage department. I love to see it. Gonna use some off heals on our shaman, trying to make use of that. We're gonna go ahead and hit the boss with this. I'm gonna use a Fortifying Brew to make sure that this doesn't take me out. There we go. Fortifying Brew comes in clutch. Makes that trivial. Trying to keep these heals going, make sure everyone's nice and full HP for when we go into the damage phase. We're going to use Weapons of Order one more time, why not? And the boss should be dead here. There he goes. Weapons of Order sort of kind of wasted. Probably shouldn't have done that, but hey, it's no big deal. All right, I'm going to wait for everyone to be here. I want to make sure that the healer's here because I might be taking a lot of damage here. We get some speed boost. Okay, I'm going to look for a kick on this guy. That should be all of them grouped. I'm going to self-heal here, use a defensive after bouncing back, and we're big chilling. Then I'm going to look for that electrician. I don't have a kick for it right now. Shortly I will. I'm going to look for it now. I'm going to stun everything here. I'm going to spin on these guys, kick this guy, and exploding keg, and focus on my health now. Okay. Goodness gracious, the amount of damage these guys are doing. It's hard to keep aggro. Okay, diffuse magic goes out. Need to clear that. Celestial Infusion. Keep using these expel arms. Okay, we get that grip out, we get that kick out, and that should be us big chilling. Kind of trying to solo all this, like what could have been done there, and I'm not blaming the mage. I'm saying this first. I'm not blaming the mage for anything. What could have been done there is I could have relied on one of my group members doing a ranged kick there instead of me having to roll into it and then getting hit in the back a whole bunch and stuff like that. Definitely could have been the answer to our issue. Need to dispel that. Okay, healer dispels it. We got another big pull coming up now, and I'm kind of running dry on defensives. I guess I have Weapons of Order. That'll help me a little bit. Okay, Weapons of Order goes out. Exploding keg goes out. That'll help me not get hit as much. We're going to use a big self heal, and now we're focusing on kicking as many of these as we possibly can. I'm going to stun everything now just to stop some of these casts from going out. Hopefully I didn't ruin anyone's kick. If I did, I'm sorry. We have Celestial Infusion going this time around with enough stacks to make it actually worth it. By stacks, I mean purified chi from clearing all this stagger that I'm generating. We have 15 million stagger. That'll clear. I'll clear that. Grips going out, making sure these inspectors are grouped, and we're not at enough percent. So what I was thinking, since we pulled some extra crabs and stuff, I was thinking maybe I could run do the skip here where we skip these guys and I die. That could have been a thing. But honestly, thinking about it now, it's kind of better not to skip these guys because I have the cheat death with the giant shield, and that means our healer has to actually keep people alive from the AoE rot damage these guys do for a lot longer while I kick the bucket. I'm gonna taunt this. This guy got spark slammed, it looks like, because I didn't have aggro for a split second. Goodness gracious, my group does damage. This is a good thing, because if my group didn't do damage, my horribad tanking would have rick this key. But this is my first 10 on the brew this season, so I give myself the excuse of that being the case. Touch of Death clears my stagger. We're big chilling here. Spark Slam goes down, and I think we're okay. We activate the boss fight. That's a 10-second respite we get here for just a moment. See if we can clear this. We have 6 minutes, just under 6 minutes to do this entire fight. That first melee hit me for way too much, if I'm going to be honest with you, but it's whatever. I don't know why a melee attack from the boss does 60%-ish of my damage or my health as damage, but now I know that he kind of does that, so we're kind of gonna watch out. I don't know why it's the first melee that does so much more damage than the rest, but yeah, sure, whatever, man. Thunder Punch goes out. We don't really have to worry about that. We're just going to purify the stagger afterwards. Use a self-heal as we get low from the dot. We unfortunately electrocute one of these puddles. We're going to hit off heals on the people here, and leading sparks go out. Okay, leaping sparks, I should say. We're going to taunt the boss to make him move over. Hopefully people don't take all of these pulls. They're not taking all of these pulls. Even though we have a lot of melee, they still didn't take my pulls as the tank, which I really appreciate. We're going to teleport back after getting domed here. We're going to clear some of that stagger and self-heal, and we're going to look to see if somebody needs an off-heal. Sure, we'll send an off-heal to our shaman. Then we have to move back to where the boss goes after that for the intermission. And from the boss doing basically gigantic hits, where that first hit took me to like 30% HP or 40 or whatever, less than half, I think. He's now wet noodling his way through it, only really doing damage when he does the Thunder Punch, which I'm going to completely negate with a defensive now. We're gonna do an off heal for our friend here. I'm gonna try and get our orb touch. Leaping Sparks goes out. I'm going to stand here, I guess, and try to use my offensive cooldowns. Oh! That was problematic for a second there. Thunder Punch goes out. I teleport back. None of that nonsense for me. Thank you. Self-heal a little bit. That was a little bit chaotic because I tried to not move as much to try and use this pull, but it worked out. We're going to send out a heal real quick. And our boss here is looking pretty low on the HP department. I think he may be going down here in just a moment. Let's see if that is the case. I think he dies during the intermission. Touch of Death clears the first +10, giving us 2,057 rating. Holy shit. Do we get loot? No, we don't. But we get the crystallized ethereal void splinter, so that's nice. There's our high versatility shoulders you got in there, partner. I'm just going to check if they need those shoulders by inspecting them real quick. I think they've already grabbed the portal. But yeah, they need the shoulders for sure, so there they go. I hit them with the shield message, apologized about the mess ups I did, and I guess Arakara, should I reroll that into something else? I kind of don't care. Arakara is fine, I guess. Is there something that gives me like, maybe I should re-roll it actually to see if I get, oh, I got it. Eco de Maldani. I don't care about that. I would have liked a better improvised Siforium pacemaker, but I'll take this. All right, cool. I feel like I did okay-ish. There were moments where I felt like I was really stressing the healer out, but that's just kind of normal for Brew at this point. I remember that being a thing the entirety of my series on season 2 of The War Within, where I went to 3K with Brewmaster. So if I could go to 3K and stress healers out, I can go to all 10s and stress healers up, out, not up. But friends, that is our first +10 key, and with that we got our 2,057 rating, or 2K rating, which means we got this crystallized ethereal void splinter. If you don't know what that is, this actually gives you another catalyst charge when you open it. It's weird that they did it like that, but I guess it's kind of good that you get an item in your inventory and then you're like, what the heck is this? And you don't, if you don't read the tooltip, you might be confused. But we do have another charge of the catalyst now. I'm gonna save that for like myth pieces I might get in the vault. I'm not gonna be I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you guys. I don't think this character is getting played after I finish the series, but who knows? Maybe if they change a few things about Brew, maybe I play it. Let's see if we can do some upgrades here real quick. See if we can hit 701 item level. So we got some gilded crests, so we can upgrade something twice. What would we upgrade twice? Probably the helmet, because it's got perfect stats. Let's hit the helmet with a couple of upgrades here. I just realized I probably should have kept those for recrafting my weapon, because I haven't done that yet. But oh well, we're gonna do that after we do the stream today. Yes, I will be streaming today. Hopefully Twitch doesn't keep shutting down my stream randomly, because that's what happened yesterday, and I kind of stopped streaming after like an hour or so because it kept disconnecting, so it was pretty much unwatchable. And it wasn't an internet issue because my YouTube stream was doing just fine. Anyway, I'm going to be doing a bunch of 10s today on the stream. I'm going to try and get pretty much everything except for one dungeon done on +10 so that I can do that in the last video. The next video, yes, is indeed the last one. So make sure you check the link at the top of the description and vote for which spec I should play next. Whichever spec ends up winning that poll, which is a ranked poll, will be leveled on a Saturday stream all day long. So I'll start early in the day and finish probably late in the evening, playing the whole day just to level a whole new character. Because this is the All Tanks, All 10s series where we take every tank spec from character creation to all 10s in the War Within Season 3. Again, the poll is a ranked poll, so make sure you drag what you want me to play to the top, what you don't want me to play to the bottom, and then click vote. Don't just click vote, because you might be voting for something that you don't want. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, drop a like, make sure you subscribe, because there's more episodes coming. Well, one more episode coming of this, and then more episodes of other tanks. If you made it this far into the video, include the word chaining in your comment, because your boy chained at the worst possible time and ended up wiping the group. If you do include the word chaining in your comment, I'll make sure to heart it when I see it. But as always, friends, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.